So back to the Clean Entire program, it offers developers and entrepreneurs guaranteed incentives to invest in projects, roughly at 11% rate of return on investment and a 11-year payback, depending on the type of project, a 20-year contract, generally with guaranteed prices that are designed to cover capital, operating, maintenance, and connection costs, and a reasonable rate of return. It covers on and offshore wind, solar PV, biogas, water, and landfill gas. And like I said, we not only got applications in on all of those, we also awarded contracts in all of those. It's an open-ended program. Projects have the right to connect if they are economic to connect. They will be connected once transmission and distribution upgrades are built as appropriate to accommodate them. We've also tried to make it easier for developers to get approvals for their projects, significantly streamlining the upstream approvals process, including the environmental approvals. And recognizing their important roles, we have also provided special funding for municipalities, for Aboriginal groups, for local distribution companies, and community groups to become involved in renewable energy. So that's a bit of an overview of the developments under the Green Energy Act. But that's only part of what we're doing and part of our role in contracting for new supply. At the OPA, we currently have about 13,000 megawatts of electricity resources under contract and at varying stages of development, from the permitting stage to the commercial operation. Renewables of about 3,700 or so, nuclear energy, another 3,000, clean energy, 6,700 megawatts through combined heat and power, and single and combined cycle facilities, mainly fueled by natural gas, obviously. Some CHP contracts, also fueled by byproduct gas and biomass. And we're actually in a pretty enviable starting position. In our supply mix, we've got about 50% nuclear, 25% hydro. Many states and provinces would aspire to get to that position, and that's really where we're starting. Over the next few years, we're actually going to double the number of megawatts and triple the dollar value to about $44 billion worth of activity under contract. And again, that's takes us to about 26,000 megawatts on a 35,000 megawatt system. So we're really moving things along very, very quickly. No doubt some of the people in this room are wondering about some of our clean energy initiatives. We certainly haven't forgotten about them. We were preparing to launch a clean energy standard offer program that didn't make it out of the gate. The Clean Tariff program in renewable energy became our all-hands-on-deck initiative. But we still do have directives from the Minister to procure 1,000 megawatts of high-efficiency CHP and 100 megawatts of renewable CHP. To date, we've got just under 500 megawatts under contract. So we've still got quite a ways to go. A number of challenges in the area, not the least of which is coordinating with our other procurements. And now there's certainly the fact that much of this capacity will be baseload generation. And now we're facing a new challenge that we haven't faced before, which is that we actually have hours of surplus baseload, surplus supply on our system, especially in the shoulder months. So the way forward, we need to monitor our fit uptake, make sure that these clean energy projects will integrate well. We have been working to determine where best to site those types of generation. Certainly we're seeing that, at least initially, dense urban areas would drive the most benefit from these kinds of projects. We continue to work internally with our board, as well as with our industry partners to determine how best to secure both large and small clean energy projects. So stay tuned. I'm very hopeful, actually, that we're going to have something to say in the very, very near future. Despite all of the successes that I've talked about so far, we certainly have some challenges ahead. Like I said, we certainly need to continue to rejuvenate our transmission system. The government has announced a billion injection into the transmission network over the next number of years, primarily to unlock the significant potential for clean electricity all over the province. And where there is critical mass, we will be building up the transmission system in every new phase of our renewables program. And to that end, we've been working very closely with Hydro One, with our independent electricity system operator, with local distribution companies on priorities. And I would say that we've probably been working more closely than we ever have with them. Likewise, we're also working very closely with our Aboriginal partners who play a very key role in our electricity planning and transmission system. And in fact, 5 of the top 8 or so transmission projects that have been highlighted as priorities for development by Hydro One are in the north and do involve our First Nations and Métis partners. Continuing with the challenges, we certainly require more flexibility from our system. A little example, last Halloween at 4 p.m. wind generation was at a record level, nearly 1,000 megawatts. 24 hours later, it dropped to 7 megawatts. And huge swing, but manageable. And our system did operate as it should. ISO was able to dispatch other flexible resources as wind supply was falling, and we were able to maintain reliability. ISO is doing a great job of developing new tools to help them balance supply and demand. And they're working on some very sophisticated and centralized wind forecasting system, as well as other mechanisms like load control and meaningful price signals. Our FIT contracts are designed to take fluctuations into account in those periods where there are provincial surplus of baseload. FIT contractors will continue to get paid even if the system isn't using their electricity. In other words, we're taking a take-or-pay type approach. Diversity of fuel sources has certainly helped. Geographic diversity has also certainly helped. And we're also seeing that we need to align our operations and economics that are incorporated or reflected in our market rules and our contracts, so in fact they don't cancel each other out, which certainly can't happen. We're also seeing that we need to consider paying for other characteristics like dispatchability, not just energy and capacity that we paid for in the past. Eventually, we will have to incorporate whatever carbon regime comes along, whether that's a national regime, a federal regime, provincial, or one with the U.S. We're also part of regional approaches. We're a member of WCI. For now, we've taken ownership of the environmental attributes. Our feeling being that ratepayers in this province are paying premium prices for renewable energy and therefore should get the benefit from the environmental attributes. But we will deal with whatever comes along. We are getting numerous approaches right now, actually, about entering the voluntary market. We hold a large inventory of high-quality environmental attributes, and people are getting a little impatient with regards to where things are going and making some suggestions about other approaches that we could take. So there's another area to stay tuned about.